expect to transform Nigeria in 1 year but failed miserably as Anambra governor in 8 years, APC blast Peter Obi. This position was communicated by the party in a press statement signed by its National Publicity Secretary, Felix Morka. The ruling All Progressive Congress has blasted the Labour Party candidate in the last presidential election. This position was communicated by the party in a press statement signed by its National Publicity Secretary, Felix Morka. In the statement, the ruling party accused the former Anambra governor of showcasing his obsessive devotion to self-promotion against the best interests of Nigeria. It is also accused Obi of misinforming Nigerians. It said Mr. Obi's latest statement on the country's economic situation is an admixture of half-truths, blatant distortions, and misinformation, calculated to mobilize outrage against All Progressive Congress (APC) government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. His rapt conclusion that Nigeria's economic crisis was caused by 9 years of APC-led administration is a highly revisionist, dishonest, distorted, and deliberately misleading assessment of the country's economic trajectory in the last decade. APC accused Obi of lying, that no efforts are being made by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration to tackle poverty and unemployment in the country. It said, the facts tell a far more complex and different story. The country's economic decline began under the watch of the People Democratic Party (PDP), with GDP growth plummeting from 7.98% in 2010 to 2.79% in 2015. And since 2015, the global oil price crash, geopolitical tensions, climate change, global COVID pandemic, and rising population have all taken a toll on Nigeria's economy that is almost entirely dependent on drastically reduced oil export earnings. The growth recorded during the PDP years was due entirely to high price of crude oil and increased government spending, and that spending that is supported. It is noteworthy between 2007 and 2014, Nigeria earned $531.2 to, Nigeria earned $531.2 billion under the PDP compared to $287.8 billion under APC between 2015 and 2022. The party blamed the PDP failing to develop Nigeria, saying despite the huge revenues available to it, successive PDP administrations neglected to address underlying structural challenges and distortions in the economy, leaving the country vulnerable to economic shocks and volatility. It said, had the PDP undertaken a sustained program of economic reform as the President Tinubu is currently engaged, Nigeria's economic situation would be far better than it is today. But in his selfish political desperation, Obi would never acknowledge the complexity of the cautions of our economic challenges, but would rather attempt to scapegoat the APC administration for all the country's economic ills, while turning a blind eye to the bold and thoughtful policy interventions of President Tinubu's administration. The party claimed that the country has witnessed development under Tinubu. It said, quite contrary to Obi's judic- um, jaundiced and gloomy analysis, in the last 1 year alone, the country has attracted over $20 billion into the economy aside recording all-time high 6.52 trillion naira trade surplus in the first quarter of 2024, marking a positive shift from a long history of trade deficits. Despite clearing the backlog of foreign exchange debt owed by foreign airlines and other economic actors by the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN), the nation's foreign reserves have continued to expand, hitting upwards of $34 billion, the highest in recent times. The highest in recent times. Capital inflow into the country increased by 66.27% this year alone, Mr. Obi must not know the inflaming passion and mobilizing outrage through false and manipulative narratives are not legitimate tools of opposition politics, the APC said, expecting President Tinubu to accomplish total transformation of Nigeria in 1 year, a feat he failed miserably to accomplish in 8 years as a governor of Anambra State, is the height of disgraceful hypocrisy. Okay, Nigerians have reacted to this news and this statement made by APC, calling out Peter Obi for the remarks he has made against the APC. So now let's hear what Nigerians have reacted. Why is that this APC always like to call Peter Obi for their failure? It's very obvious that they are sailing on legitimacy. He didn't fail in Anambra, unfortunately. This government is still busy looking for scapegoats for their failure. APC needs 100 years to transform Nigeria to Nigeria. The Nigerian people are solidly behind APC. We will make sacrifice for the betterment of our kids and the next generation. All hail APC. Nigerians are reacting, still reacting. And from Anambra, Mr. Peter Obi is probably the finest governor Anambra has had. He succeeded in all shades as a governor, and his legacy speaks to date. See what Governor Ote of Abia State is doing. That's how Obi was to Anambra. Please let's give him more 20 years. He will transform Nigeria. APC are very good in oppositions rather than having what it takes to govern according to the decades of governance. This is aimed at changing the narrative of APC. APC is attempting to deviate people's attention from the protest to an Igbo man. Nigerians who want to protest should remain focused. APC should leave Igbo people out of their mess. APC is busy chasing shadows yaw, while Nigerians wallow in abject poverty. The Obi they are talking about is a free man, and this act of always talking about Obi has proven beyond doubt that Obi won the election. Their conscience now pricking them. Give back the mandate to the winner of the election and and regain your freedom. Else, your consequences will continue to flog you up. God is watching. Una see this man so, if una allow am the next 1 year, all of una go die finish. I dey watch una for almighty Kenya. There is no difference between APC members and criminals on the highway. Yoruba APC-led government is always known for the tribal games. Only very few of them understand that overall good governance has nothing to do with tribe. Na only them dey shout Ebi Napa wa na still only them dey defend the government. I reject confusion on una belief on una behalf. If Obi government was one-third bad as that of Tinubu, there wouldn't be a state called Anambra by now. No governor has been able to do one quarter of what Obi did in Anambra. We don't love Obi because he's an Igbo man, but because we know he has the capacity and intellectual know for how to turn things around. Because after all, when our legend Ojuko contested against Obasanjo, we abandoned him and voted for Obasanjo, and that will tell you we don't apply sentiment in what we do. When will Nigeria politics start taking responsibilities and blames for their actions and stop blaming and attacking people? Okay, I think Nigerians have reacted, and there are some very positive and also very negative reactions coming from them. So, guys, I'm dropping it here. Kindly share your thoughts below in the comment section. Please, if you are just joining us today, please kindly subscribe to this channel.